Dear students, element 3, managing risk, understanding people and process. So today we will start and we will discuss, and this elements today and tomorrow we will finish this element 3. Contents of this element: health and safety culture, improving health and safety culture, how human factors influence behavior positively or negatively, assessing risk, management of change, safe system of work for general work activities, permit to work system, emergency procedures. So these all topics we will discuss today and tomorrow. Health and safety culture. So what is health and safety culture? Meaning of the term health and safety culture, relationship between culture and health and safety performance, indicators of an organization health and safety culture, influence of peers on health and safety cultures. We will discuss this one by one. Meaning of the term health and safety culture: the safety culture of an organization or in company is the product of individual and group values, attitudes, perceptions, competencies, and patterns of behavior that determine the commitment to and the style and proficiency of an organization health and safety management. So a useful approach is to distinguish between three interrelated aspects of health and safety culture, especially how people feel about the health and safety culture in a company, what people do about health and safety in the organization, what the organization has placed for health and safety culture, what is their attitudes towards health and safety culture, their values towards health and safety culture, their perception toward health and safety in the organization. So if the attitudes, values, perceptions, and their behaviors, if they are positive, so the culture of the company will be positive. If that is negative, then the culture will be negative in the company. So aspects of culture, how people feel a positive health and safety culture. For example, value and beliefs. People in the organization value health and safety, regard it as mandatory, and operate in a safe and healthy way. So in a positive culture, they will give the value to the health and safety. They will believe in health and safety, and they will work in a safe manner in that organization. People in the organization believe that health and safety makes commercial and professional sense, that individual or not the sole cause of accidents or incident and ill health, and that the next accident, incident or ill health event is waiting to happen. So in the positive health and safety culture, the people, they will give value to the health and safety, and they will think that the accident or incident or ill health, that is not the error or mistake of the individual. So they will positively think, they will find out the root causes of that. So that that culture will be a positive culture, and the people will feel in a positive way in that company. What people do, for example, problem solving methods. People in the organization use risk assessment and accident, incident, and ill health investigation analysis. They also use cost benefit analysis. In a positive health and safety culture company, the people will use the risk assessment. They will investigate the accident and incident, and they will find out the root causes of that accident, and they will use the risk assessment to control the hazards in the company. So they will use the cost benefit analysis in that company. People in the organization actively search for problem in advance for accidents and incident or ill health events. So in that company, in a positive health and safety culture, the people will things in advance to solve the problem, to solve the issues that will cause the accident or incident in the future, to solve the root causes of the accident and incident. So that will be a positive health and safety culture company. And in a positive health and safety culture, the organization has what the organization has in a positive health and safety culture. Sorry. Okay, for example, working practices in a positive health and safety culture. Health and safety is integral to design and operation practices. Health and safety is the first item on meeting agendas up to board levels. So, in a positive health and safety culture, the people in their decision or in their operation practices, when they are doing the work, they will, their priority will be health and safety. They will give the priority to health and safety. And if there is any meeting in that company, so on the board level or on the other levels, the middle management level or senior management level, they will, the first thing they will give priority to health and safety in that company. So that will be reflect positive health and safety culture of that company. Okay. Relationship between culture and health and safety performance. Because the culture of an organization has such a strong influence on the way it does things. There is direct relationship between the culture of an organization and its health and safety performance. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic, please. Okay. Because the culture of an organization has such a strong influence on the way it does things. There is a direct relationship between the culture of an organization and its health and safety performance. If a culture, health and safety, if a culture of the organization is a positive, so that will depend the performance of the company. Because if a company have positive health and safety culture, so there will be less accident, the worker will be happy, and the people want to stay in that organization. So the production will be more, the customer will be satisfied, the other stakeholders, the governments, the society, that will be happy. So the performance will be more in that organizations. Each decision taken by an organization is influenced by its culture. If the culture is positive, so that will depend, that will give that will depend the decision of the organization. Because in a negative health and safety culture, the company decision makers, that their views, their beliefs, their values will be also negative. So that's also the culture of the company that will also influence the decision of the company. The way the decision affect health and safety may be positive or negative depending on the culture of the organization. So if an organization, the culture is negative, so their decision will, for health and safety, that will also be negative, that will affect. So there will be more accident. They will not give priority to health and safety. Their priority will be production. In the other way, if the health and safety culture of the company is positive, so the company management, the top management, they will give priority to the health and safety. So all the people will, all the worker will give the priority to health and safety. Then in that company, the performance will be more, the production will be more, the profit will be more, the worker will be happy. The other stakeholders, the interested parties, the customers, the owners, the society, they all will be happy in a positive culture, health and safety culture, from the positive health and safety culture organizations. So that will that relationship between the health and safety culture and performance, because the negative company will produce less and the positive health and safety culture will produce more. Indicators of an organization health and safety culture. How we will identify or how we will indicate the culture of the organizations. A number of indicators can be used to assess an organization health and safety culture. Some of these indicators relate to health and safety outcomes and include the number of accidents and incidents occurring. We will check the accident and incident rate of the company. If the accident and incident rate of the company is less, that means the health and safety culture is positive. If the accident incident ratio in the company more, that means the culture of the company is negative, because the accident will be more. So that reflect the culture of the company is negative. Then the number of work-related illness occurring. So if in a company the work-related illness or sickness is more, that means the culture of that company is negative. If the illness or sickness relating to the work, if that is less, that means the culture of the organization is positive. The sickness and absenteeism rates is also another indicator. If in a company the workers are not absent, or they are not, because why the worker will sick or worker will absent? Because due to unsafe action, due to unsafe activities, due to unsafe conditions, they will absent from the work. So if this absenteeism is more, that means the culture of that organization is negative. If the absenteeism is less, that reflecting the culture of the organization is positive. So the production will be more in that company. The company owner will be happy. All the employees will be happy. The society will be happy. The governments will be happy. The other indicator, the number of complaints about working conditions, and the other indicator that if the complaints about the working condition is more, that means the company have negative culture. If the complaints are less, then the company have positive culture. And other things, if the actions from top management, if that is taken for solving that complaints, means that the company have positive culture. Because in some company the workers are complaining, but the top managements are not taking any actions against that complaints, because we need to solve that complaints, because workers are complaining about the working condition. So that means the working condition is unsafe. So we need to solve that. So that means if the complaints solving is good in a company, that's showing the positive culture of the company. And the other indicator, number of workers leaving employment. So in a negative culture or negative health and safety culture, the people will leave that company, because due to unsafe condition, due to unsafe action, due to lack of health and safety measures, due to that, the worker will leave that company. So this another indicator. Okay. So these are the indicators due to which we can assess or we can indicate the organization health and safety culture, whether the organization health and safety culture positive or negative. Influence of peers on health and safety culture. Peers means colleagues. Many individuals are influenced by what people think of them and may act in a particular way to ensure that people around them feel positive towards them. Because this is conceptual. Many individuals, okay, in a group's situation, this can include the individual acting in the same way as the group to maintain a feeling of belonging. Because if a group, if they have positive health and safety culture, or if their behavior is positive, so the individual will also do like that, do like in a positive manner. So if another situation, if the group is negative about health and safety, so the individual who is joining that group, he will also acting unsafe or acting in a negative manner. If members of a team believe that working safely is a right way to do the job, each team member will watch over the activities of others in the team to ensure they confirm the way the team works. If the team is a positive, if all colleagues in the team, if they are positive, so if one member of the team, if he's doing unsafe act or unsafe activities, so the other people, the other members will prevent him, because that is the peers, they will influence of that. So therefore, we need to identify this type of groups or peers, and we need to change their behavior from negative to positive. Then how we will improve the health and safety culture in our organizations? Improving the health and safety culture in our organization, gaining commitment of management. The first thing, we need to gain commitment of the management, top management. Then promoting health and safety standards by leadership, example, and disciplinary procedures. Then competence of worker, good communication within an organization when training is needed. So these things we will discuss one by one. And due to this, the culture of the organization will be improved. These are tools, these are techniques that is given by the NEBOSH to us. Due to this, we will improve the health and safety culture of the organization. How we will gain commitment of management? Securing management commitment is one of the most important steps in establishing a positive health and safety culture, which is recognized as an effective way of ensuring appropriate health and safety behavior. The first thing, we need to commit the top management. How we will commit the top management? If they have negative health and safety culture, if they have negative behavior about the health and safety. So for that, we will tell to them the three reasons we already studied: the moral, financial, and legal reasons. Due to that, we will convince them. The absence of management commitment would indicate that health and safety was low priority in the organization and that it was not important, because if they have not given any priority to health and safety, that means the organization have negative culture. So it is very important for the organization that top management commitment is necessary. They need to give priority. Then the lower people, they will give priority to health and safety. If top management will not give any priority to health and safety, if they are giving priority to production, so the lower people will also give priority to production. They will not give any priority to health and safety. So it is very important that top management should give priority to health and safety. So how we will convince the top management? How we will argue the top management? Due to three reasons. You already studied. The financial reasons, we will discuss them. If there is any accident due to unsafe actions in the company, so they will lose a lot of money. And then we will discuss with them the legal reasons due to unsafe act, if there is any actions, because in the legals, they will, maybe the company will fine, maybe the company will out of business, or maybe they will imprison. So the moral, we will discuss the moral reason also. So due to these three reasons, we can convince the top management. We will do the meeting with them, and we will convince due to these three reasons or these three arguments, then they will commit it to our health and safety. This is a tool for us, because the NEBOSH told us these tools we will use in a practical life. The three arguments: financial arguments, legal arguments, and moral arguments. Due to this, we can commit it the top management to our health and safety. This could lead to managers and workers behaving in a way that is not supportive to health and safety. If they are not committed to our health and safety, so the lower people will also do the work in unsafe manner. So it is very important that top management should be committed toward health and safety. Then promoting health and safety standards by leadership examples and disciplinary procedures. Managers should promote health and safety standard by showing their commitment to them when they are carrying out their normal management activities and specific health and safety activities assigned to them. This will often include managers showing leadership by setting a good example. It is useful for managers to be involved in the investigation of incidents and ill health, and is particularly useful for them to be involved in preventive measures like risk assessment process. So the top management and the manager, they will show by their examples, they will attend the health and safety meetings, they will attend the health and safety campaigns, they will practically involve in the risk assessment, preparing the risk assessment. They will attend the safety committee meetings, and they will do the inspection, management walkthroughs, safety tours, safety sampling, and every activity. They will also participate in the audits, health and safety audits. So due to these, they will give just example for the other workers that we are taking health and safety. So the lower people, the other people, they will also give priority then to health and safety. So in this way, the safety culture of the company will be promoted. Then competent workers. We need competent workers for our company when we want to promote the health and safety culture. Ensuring competence improves health and safety behavior because managers and workers become more aware of health and safety aspects of work activities. Their perception of risk and danger increases, and there should be an improvement in their attitude and motivations. Competent managers and workers will have a better understanding of the rules and procedures and are more likely to follow them. So we need a competent worker and competent staff in our organization when we want to promote the health and safety culture in a positive manner. So for that, we need a competent workers and competent managers. So how they will become the competent? Because the competence, they have knowledge about the work, they have ability, they have training and experience. So in that way, they will be competent and they will understand the health and safety precautions, the health and safety matters. They need to understand the rules and procedures. Then they will competent. If the workers and staff will competent, so the health and safety culture of the company will be improved because there will be no accidents. The production will be more. They will give priority to health and safety. The worker will be happy. So we need competent workers for our organization to improve the health and safety culture in our organization. Then good communication within organization. We also need good communication, proper communication between the workers, between the top management. The communication process, communication methods used and effectiveness, various communication measures, cooperation and consultation with workforce and contractors. We will discuss this one by one. So good communication within organization, information. So what is the purpose of information? Improve awareness about the health and safety generally and in relation to specific hazards, their controls and management performance to bring about these controls. And itself, passive, it relies on the recipient to interpret. So we need a good information about health and safety, a positive information in a positive manner. Then subject legislation, we need information for legislation. Company policy statements. We also need information for company policy statements. Incident and health health statistics, general hazards and controls. We also need to communicate the information about health and safety, accident, health statistics. So we need this information. Names of appointed first aiders. We also need information about first aiders, fire marshal, fire watchers. So we need information from those people. So means of communication, how then this information will be communicated. Bulletins and news sheets, notice boards, we can fix this notice board. Propaganda and films, media, we can communicate this information through media. Team briefing, we can communicate in a team briefing. Written materials for visitors, sites, signs, and labels. We can communicate in these different medias and these different means. We can communicate this information. Then instruction, the other instruction. The purpose of instruction to control the behavior of workers, contractors, and visitors with regard to general and specific health and safety arrangements. Typically, one way of communication, often no real check of understanding. So this is the purpose of instruction. And then subject, what will be included? Health and safety rules. Because we will instruct for health and safety rules, for the health and safety policy, arrangements and plans, use of PPE, personal protective equipment, specific hazards, for example, smoking. We will instruct emergency procedure. We will instruct about emergency procedure, reporting incident and ill health. We can instruct about that. Means of communication, how we will communicate this, carried out formally using verbal, written, and visual material, notice boards, induction and job training, direct issue of document, toolbox talks. We can communicate this in toolbox talk, in induction training, on notice board, or another meetings. We can communicate these instructions to the worker, to the top management. Then the communication process, it is essential that communications are understood in order for them to be acted on and for individuals to have the correct health and safety behavior. Barriers that may prevent it being understood include noise and other distraction, sensory impairments, and complexity of the information. So this is important that the information that is given to the workers, to the staff, to everyone, that should be understood, that should be in their medium, in their language. If the workers or the staff, if they will not understand about the communication, then that will be useless. But that we need to prevent the communications in a place where noise or other distraction, because some people have sensory impairments, maybe they or complexity of information. If the information is not clear to them, you need to clearly give that information. Communication is a skill that people often take for granted, and some individuals are better at it than others, because this communication is also a skill, because some people are better to communicate to other people, but some are not good. So this is also a skill for the people. So good communication with the organization. The other thing, communication methods, how we will communicate, in how many methods we can communicate effectively. An effective communication, the correct method should be used for particular information in circumstances in which it is being provided. This will mean considering the principles of good communication and benefits and limitation of different methods. Different methods used to communicate health and safety typically include verbal, written, and graphic methods. We are using three methods for communication. The one method is the verbal. The other one is the written communication, and the third one is the graphics communication. In this three way, we can communicate in our company. Okay. Use and effectiveness of various communication measures. Notice board. The communication is easily available to everyone in particular work area where the notice board is located, and to those that pass near it, they can be achieved in effective techniques. Notice board is a very effective and cheap techniques, and everyone can look on that. Health and safety media can provide information in a way that improves motivation, and visual impact is a strong stimulus that maintains attention. The toolbox talk are short communications sessions provided by supervisors to explain or remind workers of important health and safety risks and control measures. It's also a good method of communications. Toolbox talk. Through email, we can communicate, can give information on proposed changes to procedures, but may not necessarily be read, understood, or action. Because email, that's also the way of communicate or the method of communication, but that's depend the recipient if they will not read the email, so that's useless. Then workers handbook, useful communicating site rules and information such as accident and ill health. So this reporting procedures but must be kept up to date. Worker handbook, that's also a way of communications, and that they will write about the rules, and they will write the information about the accident incidents. So that the worker handbooks also a method of information. In that way, we can communicate to the other workers, and that's also a best way of communication. Is a notice board. It's also just a notice board. Cooperation and consultation with the workforce and contractors. In a company, cooperation and consultation is very important. It's important to establish that there is a difference between informing people and consulting them. Informing is one-way process of involving the provision of relevant information. So informing, just inform the other people. There is no feedback in this, and this is a one-way communication. And consulting is a two-way process where accounts is taken of the views of those being consulted before a decision is taken. The consulting is a two-way communication. In consulting, there is a feedback from the other party also. So this is a better communicating method. Cooperation and consultation with workforce and contractors. So in a company, it's very important. Organizations that have a positive health and safety culture have arrangements in place for consulting in order to develop good management and worker cooperations. This may be achieved by consulting workers directly or indirectly. Consulting with workers, health and safety representatives, or by using health and safety committees. They can consult directly with the workers if a company is small company. If the company is a big company, so there will be health and safety representatives for consulting. And there is a safety committee meeting, health and safety committee meeting, that is usually done in a month and mostly done in a month. It is important to establish that there is a difference between informing people and consulting them. Informing is a one-way process involving the provision of relevant information. For example, by management to workers, whereas consulting is a two-way process where account is taken of views of those being consulted before a decision is taken. The consulting is a two-way communication, and this communication, they will take the feedback from the other party. Because, for example, if we are bringing some new technology or some new process or new machinery, we need to consult with the operators, with those persons who will work on that. They will tell us about that, how they will, because they better know. So we need to consult with them. On some matters, we need to consult with the workers. Consultation is very important in a company. If that management will not consult with the worker, so there will be accidents, because the health and safety objective will not be met. So we need proper consultation in our companies. Then cooperation and consultation with workforce and contractor worker representative. Many countries have established national legal requirements for workers' health and safety representative. One of the benefits is that it is easier to provide them with time to be consulted rather than consulting each individual workers. Because worker representatives, because in some companies, in a large company, we cannot consult individually. So we need worker representative. Due to that worker representative, we can convey our message to all workers. Then health and safety committees, they provide a forum for discussion, ideas, and development of recommendations that can be offered to the employer in order to maintain or improve health and safety. So this safety committee meeting that is conducted in a company one in a month. During the safety committee meeting, they discuss the issues. They discuss about the welfare of the workers. They are discussing the incident rate. They are discussing the audits non-conformity, or they are discussing the safety observations, the safety tours, all issues discussed in this safety committee meeting. A health and safety committee can promote cooperations on health and safety matters and support the normal workers or employees system. It's a very good for the company to do the health and safety committee meeting one in a month. And the chairperson should be the senior most person of the company or of the projects. And all the issues, health and safety issues, should be discussed in that committee. When training is needed in the company, the first training, that is induction training for new managers and workers, specific health and safety training, supervisor and manager training, refresher training, change that create a need for training, preparing for a training session. Okay, these we will discuss one by one. Induction training for new managers and workers. Induction training is generally defined as the training given when an individual starts working for an organization for the first time or works at a new location. The purpose of a health and safety induction is to orientate individuals to the organization approach to health and safety and provide them with essential information. The induction process should motivate individuals and make them aware of the health and safety behavior the organizations expects of them. And because the induction training is the first training. If anybody will come in the organization or in the company, the first training that is given to them, that is induction training. During the induction training, they will discuss the safety, health and safety rules of the company. They will discuss the health and safety policy, risk assessment, hazards available in the organizations. They will discuss the about the first aider, information about the first aider, the clinic or the in the smoking area, and the assembly points. They will discuss emergency procedures, the other things of the company. They will discuss every matter, every health and safety matters. They will discuss in this induction training. It's very important. So they will also discuss the relevant training of the job They will discuss how the waste will manage in the company. So they will also discuss about the other area of the projects, the facilities, where facilities available. They will also discuss in the induction training. Specific health and safety training. The specific health and safety trainings required by individual will greatly depend on individual job. For example, whether they are workers or managers, because this specific training, because some worker will be will need power tools training, because they are doing the job on that power tools. Some worker, if they are doing the work on the height, they need the working at height training. Some supervisor or staff need the supervisor training, supervisory level training, leadership training. Some need risk assessment training. They also need the permit to work system training. So these different types of training which is available in the organization, it is given to the workers. The first aid training, the fire safety training, these all the training that should be given to the workers. This different type of training that's also given to the different people's different jobs. Health and safety training for also given to the electrical personnel to do the job in a safe manner. So the training, the need for specific training for a particular job should be defined through an analysis of training needs. When job-specific health and safety training is provided, it is common for competence to be formally assessed and recorded. Because when the training given to the workers, or the staff, or the supervisor, or the manager, we need to assess that. We need proper exam for that. Due to that, we will assess. When we will assess, then our training will be meaningful. Otherwise, if we will not assess, then our training will not meaningful. Supervisor and manager training. General health and safety training should be provided to supervisor and managers to ensure responsibility are known and to enable them to carry out the organization health and safety policy. This will enable them to fully understand and participate in the management of health and safety in their organization. It will also help them to consistently and reliably respond to health and safety risks, which will ensure the organization standards for health and safety are maintained. So in the organization, we need to give proper training to supervisor and managers about health and safety, that how they will manage the health and safety hazards in the organization. We need to give them risk assessment training, and we also need to give them leadership training, that how they will lead the people. So different types of training we will deliver to them. We also need to deliver them the permit to work training that is needed for them. So this type of training we will give to these workers in the organization. So the purpose of the training to develop the knowledge and skill of people, their attitude, perception, and motivation with regard to health and safety, to ensure acceptable action. Training should use two-way communication, information, instruction given, and understand skills and checked. This may be by observations of person practical skills, for example, by driving a forklift truck or using a simulators, and or by written or verbal assessment of understanding. So the training we will give them, we will change their behavior, we will change their unsafe behaviors, we will change their perception and attitudes. And for training, we need to assist them. We need to take exam. We need to practically assist them. We need, because without assessment, the training will be useless. The subjects, which type of training we will give: accident investigation training, conduct risk assessments, conduct inspections or audits, how to comply with instruction, then how to set up your display screen workstation in the organization, how to use the equipment, for example, through terrain forklift truck, use of personal protective equipment, manual handling techniques, emergency procedures. So we will give training for these things. How we will give this training? Means of communicating, which will be the means of communicating on job training, internal, external trainers. We will give training to the workers on jobs, or we will hire external trainers for the to give the training, or we can give internally to the workers. Explanation, demonstrations, discussion, and practice. One-to-one group, written, oral, and visual material. We will use these material during the training. Then refresher training. As time passes, managers or workers' approach to health and safety aspects of their job can change from the way they were originally trained. This could mean that they work in unexpected way when they work with other people and could put themselves and others at unnecessary risk. It is therefore important that regular refresher training is used to reinforce the correct way of working and maintain an awareness of risk. So this refresher training is very important, because with the passage of time, the people will because they need refresher, for they need to understand, because there may be some changes, there may be changes in technology or the other things. We are human beings, so we need a refresher training to refresh our memory. So this refresher training is needed. Then change that creates a need for training. As an individual's job or the workplace's change, training is required to update techniques and ensure awareness of the correct methods. The training should be designed to prevent the individuals transferring old methods to the new job or process. This may require a significant amount of practice under controlled conditions to ensure the new methods have been learned. Because if there's any change in a jobs or any change in a process, we need to give training for that to the workers, to the individuals. Because if the process change, we need to give them health and safety training on that process, on that new process. If the technology change, we need to give the training about that new technology. So this is very important in the organizations, and we need to give this type of training to the workers. Preparing for a training sessions, one of the first consideration is to identify the particular aspects of health and safety that the training relates to, so that the objectives and the content of the training sessions can be established. Other factors to consider include the training style and methods to be used, the target audience, the number of trainees, the time available for the training, the knowledge, skills, and experience required for training. These things during the session we need: the time, the how many audience, the available time for the training, the skills, the knowledge, experience. These all the things we need during the training. Then the other session, how human factors influence behavior positively or negatively. Organization factors, and this we will study organization factors, job factors, individual factors, link between individual, job, and organization factors. This is the last topic of today's session, so we will study one by one. Organization factors have major influence on individual and group behavior. It is common for them to be overlooked. Organization factors include an organization culture, its approach to responsibility and leadership, the resources provided to achieve health and safety, how health and safety is communicated, the way the organizations organize work, the standards and procedures it sets. So these organization factors, the organization culture, there is the leadership and top management commitment towards health and safety. The resources provided by the top management to the company, the health and safety communication style between the workers with the top managements, the way organize the work in a company, these all the things, the procedure, the standards for working, these all reflecting the organization's factors. So due to this, these factors, we can also understand about the health and safety culture, if that is positive or negative. So the organization factors is also very important to understand, because due to this, we will understand if the company culture is negative, or if the leadership of the company not committed toward health and safety. So we can give some strategical approach towards that. That with the culture, we will bring the culture of the company in a positive, or we will commit, or we will meeting with the top management that they will convince toward health and safety, and they will give resources for the organization, and the communication style we can improve in the organizations. If we will understand these factors in the organization in an easy way, we can improve these factors. Then job factors, there are number of job factors that could influence health and safety behaviors in the workplace, including the task of individuals carry out, the effects of workload in the workplace environment, the design and maintenance of competent of equipment and procedures, the task that individual is expected to do may be physically or mentally demanding. The high demands of tasks compared with individual capability provide a potential for them to make errors. These are the job factors, the job design, the environment for the job, the how the individual will do their job. So this is the job factor, and this then individual factor, personality of the person, attitudes toward health and safety, motivation, perception of risk, competence, human errors, and violations. So physical and mental example of individual factors, how they influence the health and safety aspects of work, the physical and mental. Physical, gender, for example, females of childbearing age should not be exposed to lead, because lead is very dangerous. Lead is very dangerous. That is so the female cannot expose to that. Size, for example, the large size of persons may restrict their movement in a confined space. Health, for example, color blindness may prevent the correct identification of wiring by an electrician. Capability or strength, for example, an individual may not have sufficient capability to manually handle the load. Then mental attitude, for example, a person may have the attitudes that all person protective equipment is uncomfortable and refuse to wear it. Motivation, for example, a person may feel that while doing their work in a particular way presents additional risk, it is worth taking the risk to make the work easier or to complete the work quicker. Then perception, for example, a person may not recognize the risk for moving machinery and remove a guard, or they may not recognize an emergency alarm and fail to respond it. Mental capability, for example, a person may have limited mental ability, which leads them not to follow complex link. Follow complex or lengthy. Sorry, because the mental capability, for example, a person may have limited mental ability, which leads them not to follow complex or lengthy health and safety instruction. Then personality. The personality of an individual is a set of mental characteristics, patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that influence an individual's values, attitudes, information processing, including perceptions, emotions, and motivations. It is believed that an individual's personality usually remains fairly consistent throughout their life. The personality of an individual can therefore influence all aspects of their health and safety behavior at work, because it's very important that we need to understand the personality of the worker, personality of the all the people who are working in organization, because different people have different personalities. Some have risky personalities, some have less risky. So we need to understand those personalities. That is very important for us to understand. Then attitudes of the people. Attitude may be defined as the tendency or respond in a particular way to a certain situation. An individual's attitudes will influence the way in which situations are viewed by them and will create a response or patterns of behavior. Individual may develop attitudes about working safely, which can be formed over a long period of time and through interactions with other people and their attitudes, because we need to understand attitudes of the workers, attitudes of the people in our organization. It's very important, because some people attitudes that is negative toward health and safety. Some people, they are thinking positive towards health and safety. So we need to understand these things. Motivation may be defined as the driving force behind the way a person's act in order to achieve a goal. Actions to influence motivation might include establishing a positive health and safety culture, where risk taking is not accepted by managers and workers. Involvement of managers and workers in health and safety policy setting realistic goals, objectives with regards to accident incidents and work-related illness rates, clarification of roles and responsibilities. So motivation is a driving force for the workers to achieve the goals. So we need to involve the workers in a health and safety policy setting, the top management we need to, and we also need to participate them in the risk assessment to change their motivation toward health and safety. Perception of risk. Factors that influence the effectiveness of individual perception of hazards and risk may include doing a boring or repetitive job may result in a lowering of the impact of a stimulus, and the stimulus may not get the individual attentions. Repetitive job, that if a person will do the job in a repetitive, so he will be bored. Tiredness may reduce an individual attention level and affect their perception of hazards. If a person is tired, so his perception for the hazards will be also affected. Intense concentration on one task may make paying attention to another stimulus difficult or impossible. An individual may not perceive a hazard they are unaware of as a risk. Patterns of behaviors and habits that are learned through experience can be carried from one situation to another where they are not appropriate. So this the perception of the risk, because different people have different perception for the risk. Then perception of risk, sensation, attention, selected attention, interpretation, and perceptions. Individual factors of, that is competence of the individual, ensuring competence improve health and safety behavior because managers and workers become more aware of health and safety aspects of work activities. Their perceptions of risk and danger increases, and there should be an improvement in their attitudes and motivations. Competence means more than just providing training, involving ensuring that the relevant knowledge, skills, and experience are established. Where possible, correct health and safety behavior should be learned as a part of the main job competency. We need the individual, if the individual will competent, if the individual have the knowledge, experience, training, and ability, so that he will be competent. If he has these things for health and safety, then they will do the work in a better manner. So this also necessary for individual factors that he should be competent. Then human errors and violations, it is estimated that approximately 80 to 90% of accidents or incidents are caused by human factors. A human error is an action or decisions that was not intended, which involve a deviation from an accepted standards and which led to an undesired outcome. A violation is a deliberate deviation from a rule or procedure. Prevention of human failures should be recognized as an important part of an accident or incident and ill health prevention programs. So, human failure flowcharts, HSD 48 model, human failures. Errors, human errors, that is, the error may be skill-based error or mistakes. If skill-based, a slip of action, lapse of memory. If mistakes, rule-based mistakes, knowledge-based mistakes, and violations, if human violations, that may be routine violation, maybe situational violations, or maybe exceptional violation. So these, in this way, the human could be failure. Okay. So link between individual jobs and organizational factors. The examination of human factors has shown that what may appear to be simple individual failings are often failings that have been shaped by the circumstances the individual found themselves in. This will include the individual factors affecting them, the job factors, and the organizational factors that cause these job factors to exist. The effects of a number of human factors may combine, causing individuals to fail to comply with health and safety rules or procedures and leading to them having poor health and safety behavior. So this was the last topic of our today lectures. So I already recorded the lectures. If there is any question, now the window is open for the question. If there is any question, you can ask from me. I will explain. Okay, any question from your side?